Hey everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft. Welcome back to the channel. I am doing my sheetload of cards process video for you this month. I actually didn't do one last month, so today you're going to see two cards being made, the one for the March sheetload and the one for the April sheetload. And these are created by Call Me Crafty Al, you can find here on YouTube. I'll try to remember to link her below. And basically she gives you this template with this really great sketch, all the measurements. You can either use it to make a single card or you can use it to make a bunch of cards. So for today's process video, I'm only doing one card of each sheet load. Although if you come back at the beginning of May and watch my layout share video, you'll probably see more cards because I did make a second one based off of, now I can't remember which one I did, but I did make a second card and there might be more. So stick around, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet done so, so you don't miss out on all the fun. So I've started doing Christmas cards this year, mainly because, buying Christmas cards or having them made, I like doing the photo cards a lot, but, they're expensive. And I just thought it would be nice to make my own cards, just pop little wallet-sized photos of my kid inside and send them off to family members. So I need about 40 Christmas cards. I'm maybe halfway there, which I think is pretty good for it being April already. And so here's, two more to add to that stash. Now I am making my own card base here, although I do have some blank note cards. They just weren't with me downstairs in my scrap room when I started doing this. So I thought, you know what, I'll just make my own card base and no big deal. I have solid color cardstock, so I can, get really creative and use different colors for the card bases depending on what pattern papers I'm using. So for this one, I'm just using a solid white base. And then I'm sticking on the pattern papers that I cut using the wonderful measurements from the March sheet load. And I'm sorry if you heard my toilet ghost flushing in the background. I hate this toilet. I hate every toilet in our house, as a matter of fact. It likes to just randomly flush, even when I have gone in and pushed the flap where it's supposed to be. Not that I'm filming this in the bathroom. I'm actually in my bedroom right now, but it's the master bedroom, so the bathroom is attached. And every time the stupid thing ghost flushes, it scares the poop out of me because you're not expecting it, and it's loud too. And I just want it to stop. Anyway, back to the cards. So this one was really easy to put together, and I really liked that the sentiment could be patterned paper and cardstock, or you could just use a stamp or some sort of embellishment to go across the front there. I'm actually matting with some cardstock, some red cardstock, a pattern paper, and then I'm going to put a sentiment embellishment on top. And this was the easiest thing to put together. I think I've just said that already, but it really was super easy because you're just cutting the pattern papers. There was 3 pattern papers I cut. I cut one piece of solid cardstock. Obviously I had to make the base, but that was easy too. And then you just stick them on and it's oh, you're done. You have a card. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I look at these card sketches and I just go, why didn't I think of that? Why, whenever I sit down to make a card on my own, I get so whoa, I don't know what to do, and I overthink it, and it just doesn't work. But these sheet load sketches they just make it so easy, and you're really just wow, I should have thought of that before. So this is a pink fresh cut apart that I've cut down just a little bit more to fit it inside that little sentiment place there. And I liked the sticker that I pulled that said Merry Christmas, but it was a little small. And I wanted something that was, going to take up a little bit more space. So that's why I have done this pink fresh cut apart piece. And that's kind of it for that card, to be quite honest with you. Oh, wait, I forgot. I add enamel dots to this card. So these enamel dots are not part of the Pink Fresh Christmas collection that I'm using. They are just random from my stash, but they had the right colors, Christmassy type colors that fit with the colors that were in the pattern papers. So I'm just creating little clusters of 3, big, medium, and small. And once again, apologies for the noise. The gutter people are here and they're cleaning out our gutters. I can't complain because it's something that I don't have to do, but when you're in the bathroom and you start hearing loud noises and it makes you think that someone has broken into your house and you're in your bathrobe and you're like, what do I do? And it's just the gutter people, it's kind of like, oh, all right, thanks. Anyway, moving on to the second card. This one I am making my own card base, but I'm using a red cardstock from my big package of solid color cardstock. And because I was using a 12 by 12 piece, I ended up making two cardstock bases. And I'll only do one of them, but like I said earlier in the video, I will have a second one that I did create, and then you'll be able to see that in my layout share video, which is going to go on the site, on the channel next month. So if you don't know, if you're new here, I hope that you're enjoying watching this and just seeing my take on the Sheetload of cards sketches for March and April. Even whether you're a card maker, you could always use these tips for scrapbooking too. Maybe one month I should do a Sheetload where I turn it into a scrapbook layout. That would be interesting. But if you're watching this and you're new here, thanks so much for joining me. I do a process video every Tuesday, and then there are a couple extras throughout the month depending on challenges and hops that I am participating in. And then I also have layout shares and haul videos and other scrappy stuff that you can also check out throughout the month. So definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet already. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. I hope that you are enjoying it. And let me know what kinds of cards you make. Do you just make Christmas cards? Do you make cards for every occasion? Did you used to make cards and now you really don't anymore? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you down below in the comments. So once again, I am using this Pink Fresh 6x6 paper pad to create my Christmas card. And the background for that one is, it's got words on it. And so now I'm adding this I love that green with the kind of goldy stars on it. I think it's really pretty. This one kind of threw me for a loop because I looked at the picture and I went, oh, what are the measurements for this? And then I read the fine print instructions and I was like, oh, that square that I cut with the green, that's actually going to get cut in half and separated so that it looks like there is a piece of that word paper kind of going over it, but it's not really going over it, if that makes any sense. And I cut this light pink paper. There is light pink in this Pink Fresh collection, and I kind of wanted to pull that from that word pattern paper. But ultimately, when I look at it, I don't know, there's just something, there are certain solid colors that I just don't like using as backgrounds or matting. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but like orange, I really don't like using orange when I scrapbook. I don't know, it's bright, like a regular bright orange. If it was a little bit darker, maybe like a burnt orange, closer to brown, but like a bright orange, it just doesn't do it for me. I need to like have it really covered up with something, or I don't know, I just can't even look at it. So I'm leaving this pink here for now. But ultimately, as I'm thinking about it a little bit more, and I'm trying to cut out this sentiment, which is another from a Pink Fresh piece of pattern paper, I'm going to use my Creative Memories circle cutting system to cut that wreath out that says 25 on the inside. So it started off square. It's a little hard to do because it's a small square. And so it's hard to kind of keep the paper from moving as I'm moving the blade around. So I do have to kind of go back in and hand cut the circle a little bit. It looks a little wonky, but I'm going to mat it with another piece of pattern paper, or not a pattern paper, with a piece of cardstock. So hopefully it won't look as wonky with the mat behind it. But anyway, so here I'm kind of thinking like, do I like it this way? Do I like it with the pink? What I will tell you, I like having that grid mat behind me, to be quite honest with you. I think it really helps keep things in line, and it's just a nice surface to work with, whether or not I'm using the Creative Memories cutting system or not using the Creative Memories cutting system. But that's what it's for. It's the cutting mat. So I'm taking the pink away. I'll save those triangles. I could use them on something else at some point. But I am going back to remat those little triangles onto red cardstock. It's a slightly different red than the red cardstock of the background. or the cardstock base. It's a slightly different color red, but I'm going to say it's okay because, you know, red is red. It doesn't have to match. It just has to go, right? So now I'm just kind of like sticking this on so that since I know that I'm happy with this new color that's going on in the background, I'm using my double-sided adhesive tape, adhesive squares, but I'm cutting them in half just to make the roll last a little bit longer. And then I'm just going to stick that down. And when I stick down this bottom piece, hopefully you'll see what I mean. There's the words going up the diagonal, and it almost, I mean, not really. When I look at the card, like I can tell because of the dimension. But when you looked at the sketch, I thought that there was like another band of the pattern paper going up the center. And I was like, why is there no measurement for this? Where is it? And then I was like, oh, I have to actually read the directions, don't I? So here's where I have some trouble with this Creative Memories cutting system. I don't know what the heck the problem is, but sometimes those little, you know, the red, blue, or green blades, they do not fit into the circle stencil properly. And then they rip the cardstock, and it makes me really mad. But third time is the charm, and I finally figured it out. I don't know. But like I said before, I matted the number 25 piece that I cut out onto some white cardstock that I cut into a circle. And then I think I'm going to pop that up so that it gives the card a little bit more dimension. I'm going to use my foam squares just to pop that up. And hopefully it's not going to make me require extra postage at the post office. That's something I always think about. I mailed some Girl Scout badges to someone, and I just put them in a regular envelope because it really didn't make it that thick. But I still went inside and I was like, do I need extra postage for this? And she's like, no, you'll be fine. So, and it was fine. Everything was fine. So, but yeah, I remember buying a card from Papyrus, if you guys know that store. And it said you needed extra postage for it. It was already like a $10 card. And then I don't even know. I just put like a bunch of stamps on the outside. I didn't even take it out. I hope it got to the person. But anyway, these are the close-ups. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope that this was inspiring for you, that you try your hand at the sheet load of cards this month, and I'll see you next time. Bye.